No, that is offline event. No, that is very costly. I didn't. How
Okay.
about you? You been
No,
there?
no. No, no, I didn't attend, so I just was asking. So,
I have done enough of these kind of courses, so I
okay.
am not currently. I'm not focusing on further offline events. I still do few of the online events wherever it is possible, and I run my own life coaching program, which is running very successfully. And Ramesh is also part of my program from last 9 months or so.
Which program you said?
So we have a accountability and leadership program and abundance mindset. We foster
Abundance.
abundance mindset. We foster procrastination and time management, procrastination cure and time management skills, productivity thing, and all those things in a very uh,
Hmm.
easier manner with the group energy, with the community support, and the dashboard. I have very nicely dashboard built to see how we are progressing day by day and taking intentional actions so that we are moving ahead each day towards our goal. So goal settings are there, and goal getting process is also very um, like you can see your progress, how you are doing, and all the bottlenecks on the process of goal getting. Also, we are addressing in a weekly call that is happening every Saturday, 8:30 p.m. So this is a brief introduction of the course or the platform that we have, the framework that we have that we are part of. Okay,
Shall we
so
start?
let's. I'm just sharing my or my screen is visible, is it?
Yes, it's visible. How to lead when you are not in charge. By Clay
Yes,
Scroggins.
right.
Yeah, yeah. We can able to see this.
Okay. So let me go to the point where we left. This is a EPUB version. Yeah, EPUB. So I'm not able to like put any highlight. I am not able to highlight basically. So I
Oh,
have to remember actually where we. So I remember actually embracing the myth we have completed. Then today we are starting this influencing part. The last session we understood influence has always been and will always be the currency of leadership. This is what actually is the part up till where actually completed. So Chandrasekhar ji, if you want, I can share you the just ping me after the session, DM me, and I'll share you the practical points of the last two sessions which you missed if you like.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Sure.
Yes,
I'll do that,
please.
yeah.
Yeah, and from day three we are starting today. So if anyone of you wants to start reading, please go ahead, or else I'll be
Sure,
ready.
Bipin. I'll
Yeah, please go ahead.
take this. Yeah. So the last point was influence has always been and will always be the currency of leadership. So seeing it everywhere. When I turned 16, I was hoping to get a brand new whip. That's what rappers called a car. That would give me more credibility with the ladies. Instead, my parents brought me an old, beat up Volvo 240 DL. At first, I was bummed, but mostly because it reeked of Bruton mold. But after a few moments of pity, I remember thinking, well, it's one of a kind. If you can't be cool, at least be unique. I'll never forget the first day I drove it to school. I pulled up to the stoplight, looked over my left shoulder, and saw the exact same car. 2 minutes later, I passed, sorry, I passed another one. And as I pulled into the school parking lot, I counted six Volvo 240s. How could this be? I thought. I thought I would be unique. How could I have missed these cars in the past? Because I wasn't looking for them. Once you become aware of something, you start seeing it everywhere. That moment with Andy was the flashlight I needed to expose the myth I had been carrying. As soon as the light bulb of leading through influence was turned on in my mind, I started seeing the truth of this principle everywhere. People lead all the time with little to no authority. Some of the most effective leaders, the people who have changed our world, led without formal authority.
Yes.
Shall I go on?
Yeah, please go ahead. This full page you can continue reading,
Okay.
and after that we will shift to Chandrasekhar Raman.
Okay. Think about Martin Luther King Jr. What was his title again? He was the co-pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church and the president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. While being the president of the SCLC implies some authority within the organization, that position alone doesn't give you the ability to effect change for all African Americans. But King wasn't bound by his position. He knew change would come about as the truth was brought to light and hearts and minds were exposed to a new paradigm, one that saw the worth and the equal value of all people and did not judge them by the color of their skin. King led because that's what leaders do. They cultivate influence with a title or without a title. Who put Nelson Mandela in charge of abolishing apartheid in South Africa? No one. But leaders do not need to be in charge to lead. October 2nd is now recognized as the International Day of Non-Violence. Why this day? Because that is the birthday of Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi led a national revolt against one of the largest and the most powerful governments in the world. But he had no formal position within the government. He has a title now, though, since India received its independence from Great Britain in 1947. Today, he's referred to as the father of the nation.
Okay, great. Thank you, Ramesh ji. So, may I request Chandrasekhar ji if you want to take over from here?
Yeah, no, actually, I'm taking the call from my mobile.
Fine. Let me continue. You can continue maybe from tomorrow if you want.
Yeah, but I can read with
Okay, if
little
you can,
difficulty.
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I need to read from these people, right?
Yes.
These people didn't wait for a title to lead, and neither should you. In his TED Talk, Why Good Letters Make You Feel Safe, Simon Sinek explains many people at the top of the organizations are not leaders. They have authority, but they are not leaders. And many at the bottom with no authority are absolutely leaders. Sinek is differentiating between authority and leadership and making the point that they are not a package deal. Leadership experts Jim Collins agree. He agrees for many people, the first question that occurs is, but how do I pursue my CEO to get it? My answer, don't worry about that. Each of us can create a pocket of greatness. Each of us can take our own area of work and influence and can concrete on moving it from good to great. It doesn't really matter whether all the CEOs get it. It only matters that you and I do. Now it's time to get to work.
Okay,
Collins
great.
make
So fine. This last paragraph I will be reading, and then we will be ending today because we have started a little late today.
okay, sure, yeah.
So the last paragraph goes like this. Colin Collins make a great point here. Our focus does not have to be simply on persuading those in charge to affect the changes. You may be able to do that and you may not. But what you can do is focus on your own area of responsibility and make it great. We need to avoid the trap of thinking we are passive victims with nothing we can do. Each of us can begin to lead right where we are today. Collins continues, take responsibility to make great what you can make great and let others do it in the areas that they can make great. And if the whole company does not do it, you cannot change that. But you can take responsibility for your area. Wow. So,
Awesome.
my takeaway from today's session is if anyone is familiar about reticular activation system RAS, Ramesh, if you remember, uh, we had a dedicated session for this RAS and how in one of the Saturday sessions, right? How actually the RAS helps us to visualize better and bring our manifestation faster. I'm not sure whether you were there in that on that particular day, but yeah, we have discussed, and I think Chandrasekharji, if you remember, in Mehnoj's class also sessions also, this is once discussed. Anyone of you remember?
Um, Not exactly.
Not exactly. Okay,
I'll
let
give
me
the
tell you.
example that he used.
Yeah, this is
Example.
something related to arrays that he is saying. So just see here, it is saying, I will never forget the first day I drove it to school. I pulled up to this stoplight, looked over my left shoulder, and saw the exact same car. Okay, exact
I
same car
remember
means
you mentioned.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that whatever we are, which comes in a mind map, that we will
hmm,
start noticing everywhere. Is that the
yes,
one?
yes, kind of you.
I remember
So
when I
where
was.
we are focusing, where our
Yeah,
attention goes to, we
yeah, I
do
remember when
and
I
see.
was going to buy a Maruti Esteem. Suddenly, I
Yes,
noticed there were many more on the road than earlier I'd realized.
yes, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So I have particularly given an example of a, like once we I forgot to take a print, and I was just thinking that how actually I can make it up. I forgot to take up the Aadhaar card of my daughter while going to the airport, and then we were thinking that how we can. There is no way that we can turn back and go back to home and then bring the Aadhaar card. But the only way is to find an alternative. And even though I used to travel the same in the same way from my home to airport, I have never seen any print shop, printing shop or xerox shop or some such kind of shops on that particular day because I was fully focusing and I was thinking that how soon I can get it done. I saw more than 5 to 6 such printing shop, even though
Printing shops.
even after I have completed my job of taking the printout. So the attention actually goes to that particular area, and it is so deep that that particular kind of manifestation, that particular kind of situations were getting attracted automatically to me. So here also similar thing happened. The author had changed his mindset. Instead of feeling sorrow, he actually thought that okay, let me be unique, and he has accepted the situation and not registered any further. So if
Hmm.
you read this particular line, at first I was bumped, okay, uh, mostly because it reeked of dirt and mold. But after a few moments of pity, I remember thinking, well, it's one of a kind. If you cannot be cool, at least be unique. So he has changed his mindset and he has started accepting the situation because he could not change it any further. It's already done and dusted. The moment he accepted, automatically arrays gets activated. So today's takeaway for me and for all of us is to understand what is that we are resisting and our energies are getting depleted. Instead of that, can we change it? Can we shift it in such a way that if I can do something about it, let me do it. Otherwise, let me totally take my attention away from that particular obstacle and concentrate on the part where I can bring more of the manifestation. I can leverage more the areas where I can get more success. So once I make that particular shift, then I will see more of the opportunities automatically bumping on my way. See here author also mentioned that, and as I pulled into the school parking lot, I counted 6 Volvo 240 DLS. So earlier also these were there in the parking lot, but he had never paid that attention and he had never seen them. That is why actually he thought that unique thing, it would be unique, okay, like that. But he saw another 6 were also there. And how could this be? I thought I would be unique. How could I have missed these cars in the past? That means they were already there, but he had never paid the attention. So let's very carefully direct our attention and understand that my attention should always go to the solution, but not towards the problem. This is one takeaway for me. And maybe if you like, you can pay more attention on this particular area. This is one thing. And second thing, which is very nicely mentioned here in the last paragraph, is take responsibility to make great what you can make great, irrespective of the delegation, irrespective of the authority or rules that is being given. And let others do it in the area that they can make great. And if the whole company does not do it, you cannot change, but you can take responsibility for your area at least. So start small. This is what actually we were today. Actually, whatever we were discussing, right, Ramesh, before the call starts, very relevant to your situation also.
Yeah.
Both the situations actually. If you after the call, maybe you can do some kind of little bit of reflection, 5 10 minutes, and just recall the points that we have discussed, and again, definitely it will be helpful.
Yeah, one thing I just want to mention here,
Yeah.
the author is giving a confidence whether I can be able to reach the CEO level or not. That he is giving assurance that you need not worry about that. You take one particular area which you can do the best and show the world that you are good at that and you can do that, and automatically you will get that opportunity. So that's a best thing. I like it.
Very true.
Yeah, and if you remember this NLP, what Mehernosh was actually teaching before, he was talking about the reds and blues before uh, in one of lessons, right? So he was telling that when we are so particular or concentrating on blues, we ignore all reds or
Yes.
very few reds we can able to notice, and we could able to miss so many reds. In the similar way, if we are noticing on the reds, the chances of ignoring or missing out blues are high. So
Yes.
similarly, in our life, there will be some abundant opportunities, but when we are focusing on certain things, remaining things, we will tend to ignore and we could not able to recognize them as an opportunity. So
Exactly.
this could happen, and the kind of audio examples that he has shown and also mentioned by Ramesh. So it's a but people who they will see only what they are attracted to, what they are like to see. I just want to share my example from the recent trip. So, myself and my spouse, we were looking at the great architecture and the buildings and the roads, infrastructure and all, where my son was very much interested on the cars that appears on the roads. So those kind of things that could be happen, that we may ignore certain things, and people, they may ignore something else. We will
Yeah,
see
each person,
see whatever we want to see. Yeah.
right? Each person will perceive what is there in their mind map.
Exactly. That's true.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
So,
you look around, when you go to a mall, you'll find that different people, like maybe the wife might be looking more at the jewelry and the clothes, and then the husband might be looking at electronic items or some such, So each person has a different experience at the same place.
Yeah. Even though if there are some news, we just pay attention on this, the content being delivered, and
Yeah.
children are attracted to the advertisements, and women are keen to interest see, they are keen to observe the kind of jewelry that news reader is wearing. Right, so it's all depends.
Yeah, true.
true, very true, very true. So this is something a real good discussion, and we'll continue more on this part, wielding the gun of authority.
And
Uh,
also, it depends on the association also, Vikash Bhai, because I've
uh,
noticed sometimes when we are with one group of people,
hmm,
the way we perceive things, a mindset will be different compared to if you are, let's say, for example, if I'm with you all as a group, we are in a book reading, our very approach to the same situation, like what we were discussing earlier before Chandrasekhar ji joined,
hmm,
Vikash Bhai,
hmm,
whatever we discussed about all those things, because I'm in the company of seekers, my perception to the whole thing has changed. I feel a lot more empowered. Whereas if I was with another group, say neighbors or some such, the perception would be different, and the ability to also think out of the box to find solutions may accordingly change. That makes a
true.
big difference. The company.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is what actually I was telling to Chandrasekhar ji also in the beginning, that we have a group of very excellent mindset people, the seekers, who are very highly positive minded and thinking to make a difference in their day-to-day activities. In a way, the strategies and the formula that we use are same, but we complement it with each other's energy level, and that helps a lot. And that is what actually Ramesh is also mentioning. So group energy definitely matters.
True,
Yeah.
true. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. If anything else, anyone wants to mention, please go ahead.
And how frequently you're reading this?
Every weekdays, 1:45 p.m. to 2 p.m. is the timeline that we have. But because today Rameshji had some different things to discuss, so we were discussing some other area and given few solutions, and then when you joined, we started a little late today.
Okay. But
So
how do
just,
you manage the offices?
this is break time.
Okay, okay, okay. That's great.
How about yours?
I just finished my last employment. I'm looking for next opportunity. So I'm in break right now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So till the time you can join, I would
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
definitely, you can definitely join. People
Sure.
generally join every other day. Different people are joining. Ramesh ji and me are definitely we are continuing.
Okay. Yeah,
But
yeah.
other people are joining, and then again after 2 3 days again they are showing up. So I would suggest to be there, part of the every call, and then see a little
Yes, yes, yes.
impactful difference.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it will be like little
True,
because there
true.
is no commitment, right? I don't
Mm.
charge anything. It's a free of thing, so
Yeah.
people don't take seriously. But that way,
Mm.
they are only losing.
145, right? Every day?
1:45 p.m. Monday to Friday.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. I'll do
Okay,
that.
great.
What is your area of work, Chandrasekhar ji?
Mm,
See,
sorry?
Chartered
What is your
accountant.
area of work?
I'm into technology, SAP technology.
SAP.
Hmm.
Okay, got it.
Hmm. Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Darshan.
See you then. Bye
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, thanks for that, Bikash. I think, yeah, this book looks